So here we are down at Allotment today, and today's task is to build the compost bins. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it yet. I need to have a good think about it. Want to get the sides up, dig some of the back out, move some of the foliage into the main part. Then I'm going to wrap the bins in a terram, which is instead of using the polythene, which will can make the compost sloppy, wet and horrible. It sweats too much. I'm going to use like a material membrane which should allow it to breathe a bit better, should still speed the composting up as opposed to having open sides on it. So that's what I'm going to line it with. So without further ado, I've set this up. I'll probably do it on a time lapse because you'll be bored with it otherwise, and let's get some compost bins built. First tip of the day, get some gloves on. You won't get stung by nettles, it won't hurt as much. Second tip of the day, don't forget you put your gloves in your pocket so this wouldn't happen. What an amateur. First potato.
So I'll start off by digging around by the existing pallets. I create a little channel, then I'm going to get hold of some of the compost, move it all over to create a gap where I'm going to put the pallet in. So I'm now putting the pallet in the little channel that I just dug to make sure that the top of the pallet's all at the same level. And I'm going to make it so it's 2 pallets wide. Then with the pallet, I'm going to fix that in place by putting a stake down in between the gap where the forks of the forklift would lift the pallet up. And I'm going to knock that stake in, and then I screw the pallet to the stake to secure it into place. The pallets themselves only cost me, I actually think I paid £1 each, but obviously you can pick pallets up for free. But yeah, £2 for the pallet. So, you know, from a cost point of view, very cheap to do. Just a bit of labour. Once that's secured in place, I'm going to then dig out a little bit more around the base, and then I'll need to get hold of the fleece or the material membrane once the pallet's secured into place. I've even gone a little bit over the top, and I've got a spirit level and plumbed it up. I didn't go as far as to square it off with right angles, but yeah, I thought it was quite good. I've then done exactly the same to the existing pallet, putting a stake in the middle, knocking it into place and screwing the existing pallet to that.
Okay, that's the first bit done. So all I'm using here is a weed control. Apollo, other brands are available. I'm not sponsored. So yes, I'm just going to put this up around the small bay and the large bay, and then I can transport or shift all of the plants that are in the smaller bay on the left hand side over to the bigger bay, and then fix that one when it's empty.
So all I'm doing here, it's not complicated. I'm just getting the membrane. I've tacked it onto the first pallet, and I'm just pulling it out, stretching it round, and then tacking it into place with nails or tacks. That's it, nice and simple. It's not a complicated job. Even someone like me can do it. So if I can do it, you can do it. I think one of the things I could have done was maybe get a little bucket for the tacks that I actually use. I kept dropping them, kept pulling them out of the bag, dropping them. I even dropped the hammer several times as well. I think in total though, this job only took me about an hour to do, so it's cheap and quick to do, and somebody without much DIY skills can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So very nice, easy, quick way of building some compost bins. And once that's done, I start transferring over some of the old compost, well, pulling out the plants out of the bin and shaking the soil into the wheelbarrow, because I can use that, and then the plants or vegetation goes straight into compost bin. What I do want to do is build some sort of doors for the front of it yet.
Okay, not the best thing I've ever built, but it's good enough for a compost bin. Now what I'll do is, when I empty the green stuff out of here, I'll shake off all the bottom compost, which I'm putting on my wheelbarrow, which I'll start to use in the raised beds. Okay, so that's the bins roughly built. The small bin on the left hand side is still full of material. I'm going to empty that material into the large bin in the middle, which is ready to go. Shake off all the soil, that will go into the beds. We'll fill the middle bin up, which will be the main composting bin. That will then rot down, and when it's rotted down for about a year, we'll turn it over and put it into the small bin on the right hand side. By that time, the small bin on the left hand side should be emptied, and then we can start the process again and keep swapping between them. So there's the bin on the left, full of old compost. There's the middle bin. I've just started to put some of the green stuff in it, and an old cardboard box I've just ripped up and put in there, green and brown. And then on the right hand side it's empty, ready for the good compost. And then obviously I'm going to clear all this rubbish up as well, but that's another job. At least we can get started on composting and sorting the bins out. One of the other little jobs I need to get done whilst moving around the compost bin, there's a lot of nettles in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some fertiliser, and what you do is you get hold of the nettles, you scrunch them up, and you pretty much put them in a bucket or a container of water for a couple of weeks, and it ferments, and that makes a really good all balanced all around for your potassium, nitrogen, all the goodness that you need, and it makes like a nettle tea, which you can then water the plants with. So that's what I'm going to do. So what I've done here, I've just got a temporary little container, and I've rigged up there's a downpipe there. I've just put a bend on with some temporary rainwater pipe, goes down into the bucket. I've put a bit of water in there, any more rainwater goes in there, and that's where I'm going to put the nettles to make our nettle tea fertiliser. So just get hold of all the nettles, scrunch them up, chuck them in. And in 2 weeks' time, that should be lovely fertiliser, lovely liquid fertiliser. Obviously you can leave it for longer. Okay, that's it from me down here at the allotment. If you've enjoyed the content, hopefully I'll see you in the next one, and please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.